The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new LetsGoRacingParks.com. Take a ride into this kind of action.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
LetsGoRacingParks.com is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. And thank you for spending some of your Saturday morning right here with us on the show today. Maximus Mischief putting in a work for his big first test coming up in the Remsen Stakes. We'll have more on that for you here at the top of the show. On the racetrack, our local race of the week, a little mile action for first level allowance conditions. We'll take a look at that as well. We'll also go up to or down to Churchill Downs for the Grade 3 Commonwealth Turf, and we'll spend some time with our new racing director here, Davis Sojadak. He'll join us here in just a little bit. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down on the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing. My good friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, this morning, we're taping on Monday.
Yes, sir.
We had a chance to watch Maximus Mischief put in his latest work.
And I was up in the booth with you, and it was 5/8, and man, when he cut the corner on the far turn, it was as smooth gets. He went 59.03. And Frankie Pennington was just kind of sitting there waving to the crowd. And Butch, I went down and talked to Butch. Brian Reed, Butch's brother, was here. Chuck Zachney was here. It was just super impressive. He'll have 2 more works.
Right.
And if everything goes as planned, December 1st, the Remsen Stakes, where that'll be the first big test, 2 turns, better horses, graded stake, and then, of course, if everything goes right from there, he's off to Florida for trying to get ready for 2019.
Dick's so smooth. Just a short time after, Navy Commander, also out of the Butch Reed barn, worked as well. We know how good he is.
Yep.
I was more impressed with Maximus.
Well, he wasn't close. He's just got this beautiful stride, and it's effortless. And look, we've been saying it for quite a while. He's the best 2-year-old we've had at the track since Smarty Jones, and we can't give any higher praise than that.
Well, Dick, just this past, before we get to our local racing action, just this past Sunday was, of course, Veterans Day, and we always tip our caps to the great veterans of our country. And here at the track this week, the PTHA, Parks Casino and Parks Racing, put on a special event, some special festivities for our veterans. And here's more on that.
Beautiful animals. I'm a little new to the whole concept of racing, I must confess, at least in person. What magnificent animals, and the athletes who obviously work with them. It's fascinating to watch in person. It's a lot of fun to be here on a beautiful midday on Veterans Day and be able to shake the hands of so many men and women who have not only served the country, but in some cases still do. You know, in a lot of cases, people will leave service and then re-enlist as Guard and Reserves, and they're still veterans just the same. So when you consider only 1% of us actually do that heavy lifting, that hard work, and step up and serve the country, it's just a real honor to come out here and have fun with them today like we are.
As we say, it's fun to see them run, and you're here at Parks on Veterans Day. What's this meant to you?
Yeah, I can't think of a better way to spend Veterans Day. I met some incredible heroes today, Vietnam veterans and Korea veterans. They're just happy to be here today. It's a beautiful day, championship day. I have to tell you, I mean, this is a real gem right in our backyard. Everybody's outside having a great time together, but really we're here to salute our heroes, and that's an important thing. I heard some incredible stories about camaraderie. I met some guys in the Navy who were just reunited for the first time in years, actually here today. So it's a very beautiful and positive event.
And Dick, just one of those groups of people that you just can't say enough about, and that's our nation's veterans.
100%.
You got it. Dick, let's get to our local race of the week. We're going to go a mile here, a first level allowance for $46,000. The favorite, number 1, King Koa. Frankie Pennington up here for trainer Marcus Saletta. The 7-5 is the price. Back-to-back wins for $12,500, and then claimed.
Yeah, claimed off a 5-length win. Big buyers. Looks like a really good claim by Marcus.
And draws that inside post here. Second choice, number 9, Tattered, goes off at 9-2. Angel Arroyo on board here for trainer Alan Goldberg. A big maiden breaker back in August. And Dick, what a tough spot for his first race against winners. Oof!
It is a tough spot. He's the son of Union Rags, the Belmont Stakes winner from several years ago, who's off to a phenomenal start as a sire.
Frankie Pennington, 7-5 on the favorite. You don't think he'll get a good trip, do you?
No.
King Koa, here's the call. And We Be Jammin' will move up to take the lead as they head for that first turn. Deal Driven second. Drossel Magic on the outside comes on third. King Koa. Down inside is racing fourth. Cowboy Knight fifth. Cone is in mid-pack right now, sitting sixth. After that, it's Tattered, Rydell, and late running Undeniable Temper. So they turned into the backstretch. The first quarter was a solid 23-3 for We Be Jammin', who leads it by a length and a half. Deal Driven is second, 3/4 of a length. King Koa down inside races third. Another length to Drossel Magic fourth with Cone fifth. Cowboy Knight far outside is now about 5 lengths off the lead. Tattered beginning to make some headway between horses. After that, it's 4 more back to Rydell. Heading to the half-mile pole, Rydell has almost 8 to make up. And still a wide break back to Undeniable Temper. The half was 47 seconds flat. So We Be Jabbin', 3 furlongs out, leads at a length. King Koa sitting second. Here comes Tattered. Tattered begins to run on outside from third. Nothing left for Deal Driven. Code is down inside about 5 lengths off the lead. Cowboy Knight is 3 wide with 5/16 to go. Drossel Magic is dropped back. Rydell never fired. And Undeniable Temper has been last throughout. So they come to the top of the stretch, and King Koa has found room on the inside, cuts the corner and takes command. An 8th out now, and King Koa is in front by 3. On the outside, Tattered under a drive. We Be Jabbin' weakens between horses. Cone is down inside, but King Koa in front with a 16 to go. It's a 3-length lead. Well, covered up at the inside, cuts the corner. Dick takes command. King Koa much the best here. Draws off to win by 3.5 lengths and pays $4.80 to win. You pay $12.5 for the horse and come right back and win an A other than.
Yeah, paid for it and then some. Looks like this horse could win some more.
Yep, King Koa wins our local race of the week. Dick, it's time for our Ask the President segment. Our band Sal DeBunda with Pat Cherokee. Now the PTHA, of course, day-to-day running of the racetrack. Lots of jobs that they offer to so many people back there. And here's more about With the President.
El Presidente.
You got it.
Right at the heart of the association really are the people who are part of the industry. Who are they? What do they do?
Well, we basically make sure in our PTHA staff that we service all the needs. We provide identification for horses, health care, turning for home program, which we'll talk about, health pensions. We also make sure that the licenses are appropriate, and we do everything we can to help to basically, this is our village, and we're kind of like the mayor's office of that village, and we do everything we can to take care of them.
So let's talk specifically, though, Sal, about the types of jobs that are actually here, because the PTHA doesn't just work with the horse owners and the trainers. There are so many other people who are part of the industry that keeps a place like this alive.
Yeah, well, I mean, personally, they need 24/7 care, so which means that they need hot walkers, they need grooms, they need exercise riders, they need feed, they need shavings for the stalls, they need horseshoes done, they have chiropractors, they have dentists, they have accountants, luckily they also have lawyers that do this. There's all sorts of van drivers, all sorts of activities generate around this horse. I like to refer to it as a factory that generates jobs.
And it's time to head to our first break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. We're going to meet our new racing director. They call him Dave O. We'll be back with Dave after this.
Over the past 30 years, the Mid-Atlantic Equine Medical Center has established itself as one of the premier veterinary hospitals in the country. We built our reputation working on horses of various breeds and disciplines, including Kentucky Derby and Hambletonian winners. Supported by a state-of-the-art diagnostic imaging arsenal, our team performs upwards of 400 surgical procedures every year. You choose a horse because of its heritage. Your hospital should be no different.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine, Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
Pennsylvania, proud of our growing breeding and racing industry. Tens of thousands of jobs with a massive economic impact. Leading the way in testing and aftercare. Only 3 states have bred more Breeders' Cup champions. Plus, we have North America's most lucrative awards program. Up to 40% in breeder awards and owner bonuses. 400 plus restricted races annually, and our program has paid out $30 million for the 5th straight year. Breeding and racing in Pennsylvania, it's a winner.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time to welcome in our special guest this week, and it is our new Director of Racing here at Parks. We welcome Dave Asajadak. And Dave, welcome here to Parks. Welcome to the show, and welcome to the family.
Thank you very much, Keith. I appreciate that.
They call you Dave O, and that certainly sounds good to me. Dave, can you briefly take us down the path that brought you here to Parks?
Sure. Growing up, my dad took me to the racetrack once, and I fell in love with thoroughbred racing. And that was many years ago, maybe 35 years ago. And since then, I've progressed from a fan to a part-time owner with a West Point thoroughbred horse. And then about 10 years ago, I decided to make a career change and went to the University of Arizona racetrack industry program and got in a field I loved, to pursue a career.
Now, you come to us from Saratoga. You were an assistant up at Saratoga with Mike Lakehow. And Dave, as you look forward to 2019, have you set any personal goals for what you'd like to accomplish over the next year?
Right now, learning all the trainers' names and faces on the backstretch now. I get everyone's names wrong, but just trying to. I'm going to assess what goes on here at Parks, and then assess it, and then try to come up with a game plan on how to tweak things to make things work better or more efficiently. And it's I've only been here 3 weeks now, so I have maybe have me on in about a year, and I could tell you what I've done.
Dave, you got your day-to-day racing, you got condition books you have to write, but we also have a huge month here in September. I know you know what's gone on here the last few years with the Cotillion and the PA Derby, 2 Grade 1s.
Yes.
From afar, what have you seen at the Parks program in September?
The Parks program, you have those 2 big Grade 1 races, exciting races, and draws a lot of support from the horsemen. And I haven't looked at the handle numbers, but I assume that they would be great numbers too. Those are the kind of days that racing has gone to, big event days, and big event days kind of bring people to the track. And people that, consider themselves horse racing fans, their first experience is coming to the live product and seeing the horses, the beauty of the horses. And I think that's key to bringing fans back into the sport.
And you obviously develop relationships at Saratoga with the kinds of trainers that will be bringing horses here. How helpful will that be?
Yeah, I think it will be helpful. I have, I could work with anyone. I have good working relationships with many of those trainers, the big time trainers, and even the little guys. That's kind of the guy I am. I treat everyone the same, be you a trainer with 2 $5,000 claimers or the #1 guy in the country. I look at everyone the same.
Dave, as Dick talked about the relationships that you have in New York, and he talked about helping out on the big days, but what are the chances that some of those relationships can help us on a daily and a weekly and a monthly basis here?
I've reached out to people in New York already. We just did our stall application for this winter meet, and I've reached out to people. Chris Engelhart, I spoke with him. He's bringing in 21 fresh horses, down from Finger Lakes and possibly New York that are coming down here. We just have limited stalls, but I spoke to someone today about bringing some more horses in. We have a limited amount of stalls, but down the road, I think, maybe get my boss to build a couple more barns, and we'll be okay.
Well, Dave, welcome aboard. It's a pleasure to meet you, and you said have you on again in maybe a year or so, but maybe we'll even bait that. Maybe we'll see how we can get you on a couple of months later, see how things are going. But thank you for your time, and best of luck, and great to have you aboard. Well, let's get to our national coverage. The national coverage brought to you by Chapin Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. And we start our national coverage with the only graded race of the weekend. We're going down to Churchill Downs for the Grade 3 Commonwealth Turf, and Dick, it's still 3-year-olds here, and they'll be going 1 mile and 1/16 for $100,000, a field of 7. The 7 Hot Springs, the 9-5 favorite for some guy named Steve Asmussen. Dick, he is 3 for 6 lifetime, and interesting to note that all 3 of those wins have come on the Churchill turf.
And only 3 tries, so he obviously loves the turf course, Keith. And by Uncle Mo, one of the hot sires out there, he was a dirt horse, but he can get him on turf.
That's pretty cool. Dick, Hot Springs with Ricardo Santana Jr. aboard. Second choice is number 4, March to the Arch. He's also 9-5, comes out of the Mark Cassie barn. Now, Hot Springs and March to the Arch went up against each other in the Grade 3 Saranac up at Saratoga. March to the Arch finished in front. But again, Hot Springs loves the Churchill grass.
Yeah, to go with a course, to go with a horse, what do you do?
It's a yielding course. Let's get the call of the Commonwealth Turf.
24-4 was that opening quarter mile. They're moving down the backstretch. And Marzo cruising along, uncontested, halfway home. Year of the Kitten on the outside. March to the arch, set to strike smack dab between those two. Down inside, it's Reride racing fourth for the far turn run. Sniper Kitten is to that one's outside fifth. Farther back in the field, Zero Gravity and Hot Springs. They're on the far turn, and Marzo kicks away. Marzo goes on with it now, opening up by 2.5 lengths round the far turn. Reride with a decisive move up to be second, angling outside, forcing March to the arch, 3 wide by the quarter pole. Sniperkin's going to try and cut the corner. Hot Springs is following that move. Top of the stretch for Marzo. Marzo still in front off the turn. Wandering to the outside is Reride coming with a bid. Sniper Kitten, Hot Springs angles outside sharply. Here comes Hot Springs, who moves outside for the final furlong. Marzo to catch, but Hot Springs continues to roll down the crown of the turf and is now in front. Hot Springs takes over the lead.
Well, 3 for 3 becomes 4 for 4. Dickey's kind of next to last, and as they round the turn, he ends up actually dropping back to last, but here comes the late run on the outside, and Hot Springs gets up to win it. Again, 9 to 5 the price. You get $5.80 to win. Number 6, Zero Gravity, who was last early, comes on for second. Number 2, Marzo was third. March to the arch, not so good. Dick, Hot Springs. Why don't we just stay at Churchill?
Yeah, I mean, they'd love to be able to run there all year long. Of course, the meet ends right around Thanksgiving, and turf racing ends as well, so I'm sure Steve will find a good spot for the horse. But turf racing is so much different than dirt racing. It is amazing how often they come from so far back, but it's simply a complete, it's a different game.
Yep, absolutely. Dick, let's go to Laurel. Down at Laurel, they had a number of stakes over the Saturday program, and in a number of those, we had some local trainers going down to take part. We're going to start with the City of Laurel Stakes, $100,000 for 3-year-olds at 7 furlongs. The favorite here is number 7, Old Time Revival. He is 9 to 5, and Dick, last time out by a nose, he broke a long losing streak.
He did break a long losing streak, and he ran really fast. A 94. He's your classic bounce candidate.
Second choice, number 5, Rugby Man, is also 9 to 5. Trainer Graham Motion sends this one out, and Dick, we expect him probably to be forwardly placed.
You would have to think he's almost always up there in the longer races.
And in terms of the locals, we have Spartacle, who we saw recently here. He's 9 to 1. Smooth B being set up by our guy Butch Reed. He's also 9 to 1. Let's see how they fare in the City of Laurel Stakes.
And it's oldies but goodies leading the way. Spartacle on the outside. Shane's Jewel in between horses. Old Time Revival and Smooth B is right there in fifth within 3 of the lead. Followed by Cordmaker, then back to Rugby Man, who's got a lot to do. Rugby Man is dropping back, and Majestic Dunhill and Golden Brown is last. 44.69, a half-mile fraction. And they're into the stretch now. Oldies but goodies from Spartacle by 3 lengths. Smooth B out the center of the track, racing in third position. Majestic Dunhill far outside, trying to pick up a share. Cordmaker down toward the inside. They're in the last furlong. Oldies but goodies is the leader. Smooth B, the outside Majestic Dunhill, and next is Golden Brown, who's come from far, far back down to the line. In the City of Laurel, it's going to be Majestic Dunhill.
Well, the City of Laurel Stakes, can you say pace meltdown? They went the half in a little bit better than 44 seconds, and here comes number 8, Majestic Dunhill, who was last. He rallies to win it for George Lever with Fergal Lynch on board, pays $21 to win. Dick Smooth B for Butch was right there. Just couldn't quite get it done. A good second, though. At number 2, Oldies but Goodies was third. Dick, the old pace meltdown for the late runners.
Yeah, and Smooth B's had a great run here with the blinkers on since Butch did that this summer, and Majestic Dunhill just too good. Race setup, 87 buyer. George Weaver, a New York trainer, shows up in Maryland, gets it done.
Hey, second $100,000 stake. Not too bad.
That'll work.
That'll pay some bills. Dick, let's take a look at the James Lawrence III. This is 2-year-olds going 6 furlongs. They're also run for $100,000 down at Laurel. And interesting to note here, Dick, as we look at the 2 favorites, number 7, Follow the Dog, Mariah Montoya, who we saw recently on the show, and number 4, Passcode, who was the 7 of 5 choice in this race. Dick, those two have not raced very often, but this will be the 3rd time they've raced against each other already.
Yeah, it is weird. Again, you don't find that many races for 2-year-olds once they break their maiden, so they kind of have to find themselves running against each other. And Follow the Dog, we had on the show, won that Maryland Million Nursery on Maryland Maiden Day.
Well, Mariah Montoya is 2 to 1. Julian Pimentel on board, and let's take a look at the call of the James Lewis Stakes.
Follow the dog on the outside. Passcode down to the inside. Trying to stay with him is Fayette Warrior, but dropping back. And Bustin' to Be Loved is next, and Scrap Copper in the blue cap trying to rally too. They're at the top of the stretch. 46.44 was a half mile. Follow the dog. They're following. Follow the dog home. Scrap Copper all out second. On the inside, X's Passcode is dropped back, and Fayette Warrior looking to reclaim the third position. About a 16th left to go. Scrap Copper on the outside. Follow the dog. Scrap Copper. Trevor's on fire. Trevor McCarthy. Scrap Copper.
Well, the locals got a second in the city of Laurel, and we got a second in the James Lewis here. Dick is number 7, Follow the Dog, gets beat by the 5, Scrap Copper, who goes off at 9-1 for trainer Hamilton Smith. And Dick, as you look at Scrap Copper, we were talking about the Maryland Million Nursery. He was favored in that race. Stumbles badly at the start, so you put a line through it. So instead of 6-5, he got 9-1.
Yeah, that's one of those after the fact you go, why didn't I bet on this horse at that price? Right, because that was just a total throw.
Yes.
And he beat the same horse that beat him, but that he was favored over, to your point, and came back to the earlier buyer figure of a 77, which was always going to win this race.
Why can't we go back and bet the races like afterwards?
Such an easy game.
Oh, man, wouldn't it? Well, let's get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing, weekly awards, and more racing action to take a look at. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs, and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Got to give out those weekly awards brought to you by the great folks at the Turning for Home program. We've told you about their website. It's at turningforhome.org. Dick, our jockey of the weekend, another terrific week. Michael Sanchez. And Dick, I'm looking at his numbers that he's putting up. He could be a jockey champion. Yeah. He's putting up the kind of numbers that could win.
Anywhere but Frankie Pennington Downs.
Well, Michael's having a terrific year. He is our jockey of the week. And trainer Mike Pino, who we've talked about a number of times, he came into the weekend at 26%. He won 3 races on Sunday, so he's better than 26%. I mean, that is just an outstanding number.
Yeah, he's been a high percentage trainer forever.
Our jockey and trainer of the week. Let's get to race recap. Back down to Laurel. We're going to take a look at the safely kept stakes. Dick, number 10, Estilla Filomena is the 2-1 choice here, but number 9, America's Tale with Trevor McCarthy on board is not going to give it up.
Nah, she is not going to give it up. She's been there the whole way, and a son of turf superstar Gio Ponte gets it done. America's Tale.
Boy, did we love Gio Ponte. $9 to win on America's Tale. The long race was the Richard Small, 1 mile and 1/8 for $100,000. Dick, and the favorite here is number 10, Zanatti for Carlos Guerrero. 9-5. Boy, has he had a tough campaign.
He has.
Does not run well here. Number 5, Unbridled Juana, just off the pace trip at 4-1, and he's going to win by half.
Yeah, Unbridled, another son of that Unbridled song. Yep. They're still producing to this day, and this is a very impressive performance. 95 buyer, and Zanatti almost always fires. He just didn't fire this time. Yep. He just was never really in a race.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get an easier spot. $10 to win on Unbridled Juan. Finally up to Aqueduct in what could have been a really nice turf race. There were some nice horses in here. The Artie Schiller had came off the turf, and Dick, we get this horse number 12, Exulting, who is an MTO the main track Oldie. He's 3-5 in a short field, and he's going to get it done easily.
Yeah, it's amazing how often these MTOs win and win easily when it comes off the turf. And this is about as easy a win as you'll see for son of Tappet, Kara McLaughlin.
Well, for $2, you get $3.10. And what are you going to do with your dime?
Not that much, really.
Dick, let's get to Iowa Racing. And Dick, we're going to start out at Del Mar, the fall-winter Del Mar meet getting underway.
Yeah, Del Mar runs until the Santa Anita, or to the Los Alamitos runs for a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's the old Hollywood Park meet, and everything's kind of changed. But yeah, it's a fun meet, but it's not like the Del Mar summer meet. But there's some good races and stuff.
And they're featured this weekend for 2-year-olds in Grade 3 Bomb Hub up in New York. We have the Grade 3 Red Smith going long. Churchill Downs, the Grade 3 River City. We'll have that, of course, for you next week. Right back with news and notes. Stay with us. Be back after this.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine, Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
What a night. Whether you're looking for some rock or some roll, whether this table calls your name or this one, if you're into big hits or big bites, Parks is Pennsylvania's #1 casino with brand new tables and slots, 2 new restaurants, and Excite Center featuring the hottest acts. The best is better than ever. Parks Casino, what a night.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. Pewter Stable is working hard, looking for the very best runners at all the top sales, and we do claiming partnerships as well. No markup, no management fees, makes our partnerships unique and affordable. Training services also provided for individual owners. Give us a call and see what Pewter Stable is all about. The thrill and fun of thoroughbred racehorse ownership is easier than you think. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing News and Notes. Of course, our closing segment brought to you by the great folks at Pewter Stable. Log on to Kate DeMasi's website at pewterstable.com. Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones. And Dick, as I was getting involved early in racing, there was a high-profile owner named Bob Levy, a great guy. Sad to say that Bob just passed away.
Right, he did. And Bob, of course, owned Atlantic City Racecourse with his family, had owned some tremendous horses, including Bet Twice, the winner of the 87 Belmont Stakes, 2-time sprint champion, and now Hall of Famer Housebuster. And he was a friend to everybody, Keith. I actually went to his service, which is right over here at Trevos, sat with Kate DeMasi. Kate trained some horses for Bob later in his life. Among the eulogizers were former Governor Rendell, former Penn and now Temple basketball coach Fran Dunphy, all 5 of Bob's children, one of his grandchildren, and then there was something back at his house out in Bryn Mawr afterwards. But yeah, he was one of the first people I met when I got here in 1985. I went down to Atlantic City to meet him and Jim Murphy, the general manager, and followed Bet Twice. That was my first Triple Crown when he ran second to Ali Sheba in the Derby and the Preakness. Just a wonderful man. And everybody kind of said it when they were giving the eulogies, but he wanted to make everybody feel good that was around him, and that's what he did. If you were with Bob, you were going to have a good time, because that's what he had. He will be fondly remembered. He will absolutely be missed, Bob, but trust me, Bob lived the life he wanted to live, and he lived it greatly all the way through.
Housebuster.
What a horse.
How fast was he?
He was one of the fastest horses we've ever had.
Bob Levy, a great guy.
Absolutely.
That's going to wrap it up for this week. Join us next week, of course, for Let's Go Racing.